Today I finished this painting called Cheeky Company. It features two ring-necked parakeets on a table setting with bowls of oranges and really beautiful chinoiserie vases. Finishing a painting is the hardest part of the painting process. I always put quite a few steps walking up and back from my easel as I make small strokes of paint, and then I walk back to assess how they're affecting the overall artwork. Every time you make a new mark on your painting, it affects the whole artwork. For instance, you might suddenly notice something in the painting that you didn't notice before you made that mark. It's also the part of the process where I feel like the magic of the painting happens. I'm constantly assessing light and shadow. I'm balancing values and colors, and the more layers of paint I get on the painting, the more I have to assess. My process is to paint in layers. I began this painting with brushes. I established the design and the light and shadow patterns, and from there I picked up my palette knives and I started to layer brighter and more luminous strokes of paint. I really love how palette knife strokes look. The paint is crisper, the edges are cleaner, and the colors seem cleaner too. Some people ask if this is a way to waste a lot of paint, and I suppose I do waste some paint because I cover up layers of color with another color. But this is how my artist brain works. It's my process, and it's just how I paint. And I keep layering and layering and balancing colors, balancing values, balancing lines, and most importantly, keeping that joyful feeling in the artwork that I love. The aspect of putting feeling into your artwork is really the hardest thing to explain in words. I'm not really sure how I do it, except to say that it goes into the effect of light and shadow on the artwork. If I look at my painting and I feel like it looks a little bit dreary or boring or mundane or something like that, then it means to me that it needs more light or perhaps more color. Next, there is the aspect of how much to finish or how much detail to add. Collectors typically value detail in artwork. The question I'm most often asked by collectors is, how long did it take me to paint something? And they're usually asking this question because they're seeing so much detail. But sometimes the skill of being able to paint with less detail and still get your image to resonate with viewers is a more interesting approach and also more challenging, rather than simply adding lots and lots of detail. When I was in art school, we had to make everything look exactly, perfectly real, and I can do that if I want to. I definitely have those skills, and I'm thankful that I have that training, but I think at heart, I'm an impressionist. I have always been drawn to the artwork of the Impressionists, especially Monet. He had such a wonderful feeling for nature, and nature is definitely the muse behind all of my paintings. Even if I'm painting an interior, there's still going to be flowers and bits of nature in the artwork, and sometimes wildlife. This painting has a lot of complementary colors in it. The oranges are very, very bright orange. I used a lot of cadmium orange straight out of the tube, and also cadmium yellow and cadmium red. These are the strongest and most highly pigmented colors of those hues. The soft gray, blue, and violet tones in the shadow areas of the tablecloth really enhance the vibrancy of the oranges in this painting. The red beaks of the parakeets also enhance the green and turquoise tones in their feathers. The flowers in this painting have a special glow about them. Because the light is coming in from behind them through the window, they have warm tones at the center and cooler tones at the outer edges. In order to integrate the parakeet into the flowers, I added some flower petals at the end over the bird so that it looks like he's really sitting inside the flowers.